How to buy a property in Barcelona as a non-resident, 2026 blueprint. Buying a home in Barcelona in 2026 is one of the best moves you can make, if you know how to play the game. But the reality is that most international buyers are walking into this market with a roadmap that's completely out of date. From administrative hurdles that can stall the deal for months, to tax benefits that most people miss entirely. There's a very specific way to navigate the city if you want to win. Stick around until the end, because I'm issuing a huge warning for investors about the looming deadline that could turn a dream apartment into a massive liability. Today I'm handling you the exact step-by-step blueprint to buying a home in Barcelona with total confidence. Hi, I'm Linda of MySpot Buyers. In a market where everyone is trying to sell you something, we are the only ones whose job is it to protect you. Most people think we're just finding properties, but finding the spot is barely 10% of the battle. While you're focusing on your work, your family, or your move, we are busy uncovering hidden debts, verifying licenses and auditing every brick. We represent you as the buyer exclusively, taking the entire burden off your shoulders to ensure that what you sign is actually what you get, without having to break a sweat. Section 1. The administrative hurdles. In 2026, the biggest threat to your purchase is not another buyer, it's the lack of a NIE. This is your Spanish tax idea, and right now getting an appointment is harder than getting a front row seat as a sold-out stadium tour. Number 1, the lane choice. Buying a holiday home? You need a provisional NIE. Moving here for more than 183 days? You will eventually need a resident NIE. I've watched dream deals evaporate just because the buyer didn't have this piece of paper ready for the notary. Number 2, the banking logic. You will also need a Spanish bank account. If you're a non-EU citizen, the bank will demand a certificate of non-residence, un certificado de no residencia. It's a mandatory security check to prove the authorities that you aren't yet a tax resident, which is required to open a specific account needed to handle your property funds. Number 3, the MySpot solutions. We handle this via the power of attorney. We secure your NIE, handle the administrative heavy lifting, so you can spend your time deciding which neighborhood has the best brunch spots, rather than screaming at the government portal that hasn't seen a software update since the 90s. Section number 2, the 24% cheat code. If you're moving to Barcelona for work, you will need to know about the Beckham Law. In 2026, this is the ultimate financial move for international talent. And I'll explain you why. The 24% secret. If you qualify, you pay a flat 24% income tax for up to 6 years, instead of the progressive rates that can hit nearly 50% in Catalonia. It's basically the government's way of saying thank you for moving here, without actually saying it. 2. The 5-year window. You now only need to have been a non-resident for the last 5 years instead of 10 to qualify. This is now open to tech directors, entrepreneurs, highly qualified professionals moving to Spain, etc. Number 3. What's the catch? You only have 6 months from your start to apply. If you miss that window, you're back on the standard tax ladder. For that reason, we really recommend to work with a specialized professional or with a lawyer. Section number 3, the 12% rule. The price you see in Idealista, treat it like a creative suggestion. In Catalonia, you must budget an extra 11 to 13% for the hidden costs. What are those costs? Let me explain you. Number 1, the ITP tax. It stands for Impuestos sobre Transmisiones Patrimoniales. And it's the, so to say, property transfer tax. The ITP tax is 10% for resale homes. If it's a new home, it's 10% VAT. And you have to add a 1.5% stamp duty. Number 2, notary and register fees. These scale based on your property value. Add in the professional fees and you're looking at a total entry cost of around maybe 11 to 12 to 12.5%. Number 3, the bottom line. If you have 500,000 in your pocket and you're looking at a 500,000 apartment, you're actually 65,000 euros short. Know your real number before you start shopping. We always recommend to do the financial check with banks or with financial mortgage advisors in the beginning, before you even start looking for properties, so you know exactly until what value you can look for. Section number 4, the mortgage realities. Spanish banks in 2026 still view non-residents as unpredictable. They need a mountain of evidence before they approve your loan. So start early to look with a financial advisor, with a professional like us, or with a mortgage broker into the details. EU citizen. You can often secure up to 70% of financing. Non-EU residents, for example, from the US, from the UK, etc. Expect to know your customer checks to feel like a background check for a secret agency. Your financing is typically capped at 60%. So let's do the math together. If the bank only gives you 60% and you need another 12% for taxes, you need at least 52% of the purchase price in cash, ready to go. If you're on liquid, you're not ready to sign. Section number 5, the step-by-step roadmap. So how does it actually all happen and how does it intervene? Here's the sequence of how a purchase process works. First of all, preparation. We secure your NIA, your local ID, and the bank account before approval, before we even ever look at your flight. Number 2 is the preparation of your finances. We look into your financing backbone, we look into potential added financing options, and we get your financial profile ready. Only when it's all clear, your investment potential, the limit you can be looking for, and what it means for you in terms of mortgage rates in the future, only then we start looking. Then comes the hunt. Here we are looking at online markets, obviously, and also offline sources. For example, architects, building administrators, constructors, and we also verify the property and based on the land registry data, not just on the pretty photos. And we see the cracks where wide angle lenses missed. Which brings us to the next point, due diligence. Besides doing a technical check with an architect, we also request all the information and documents, like the nota simple, the registry note, the cedula, which is the living certificate, the ITE, which is the technical inspection of the building, the community minutes from the last owners meetings, etc. We're looking for the hidden depths or neighbor who thinks they're the next world-class DJ. We even go into the community to make sure that you have a good purchase. The offer. We submit a precise offer backed by a technical report and our findings from the document studies. It's hard to argue with a spreadsheet and we need fixed arguments for possible price reduction. The offer should be in a written form with the documents of identification attached and clearly stating the property and the offered price. We do not accept offers or negotiate offers on the telephone. It should also have a reservation fee already made, so the interested party shows commitment. Then comes the ARAS. You sign a private contract and pay a 10% deposit. This binds the seller. If they back out after the ARAS, they have to pay back the double. And it also commits the interested party because the only way to back out is if the financing is failing or if other certain conditions that has been put in the ARAS are not met. It's the only time actually in Spain you'll ever get a 100% return on an investment within a week. That brings us to the last step, to go to the notary. We meet for the final signature. You get the keys and the seller get the bank draft. Done. And then starts the post-venta process for a buyer's agent, where we help you to settle down with moving agencies, with cleaning lady, with nanny, and also help you to change the contracts for the utility companies. Section number 6, the 2028 tourist license warning. A huge warning for investors. Barcelona is phasing out all tourist license by October 2028. If you're buying a flat today because it has a license, you're paying a premium for an asset that has 2-year expiration date. It's kind of like buying a luxury car that turns back into a pumpkin at midnight. You'll need to focus on midterm or long-term rental yields now because the Airbnb dream in the city center is officially coming to an end. So let's summarize, okay? Today we have mapped out our exact path to ownership in 2026, from navigating the NIA to the bank account via power of attorney to maximizing your professional move through the Beckham laws. 24% tax flat rate. We've broken down why the 12% rule is not negotiable for your initial budget and how to prepare for the reality of non-resident mortgage caps at 60%. Most importantly, you know now why the 2028 tourist license has been phased or will be phased out fundamentally and will have changes on your long-term investment strategy. Buying a home in Barcelona should not feel like a gamble. It should be an informed, confident decision. We guide you from the first search to the final signature so that what you own isn't just a real estate, it's your spot in Spain.